So, Gator Nation, listen, he's in the studio with me. He's my family. This is literally just going to be a conversation because I love me some MC Magic. I'm like all you girls. We are all fanatics for MC Magic. All the girls were excited. One of the girls up front was about to take her lunch break, but she's stalling on her lunch break so she could see you.
Oh, what a sweetheart. What a sweetheart. Thank you. I'm super blessed to have so many amazing fans.
Yes. I mean, still to this day, we just did the concert in Adelanto.
Yes.
Back in the day. And then the cruise, the old school cruise. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
MC Magic was singing. He put my name in his song. I felt so special.
Well, I saw you on the edge of the bridge, and I'm like, hey, Cece's right there.
Come on.
Boom. Come on now. Love is love.
But you know what? Just to be like, you're still doing it. You're touring. Well, first of all, I see you and I'm like, dang, I wonder if this guy ever gets tired because you're constantly booked, constantly moving.
The only one that gets tired is my wife of me not being home.
Right. Well, listen, I know you've been doing a lot of promo this week. After this whole promo run, what's a week without any music, any performances? What does that look like for MC Magic? And that's my first question because that's something I've always wondered about you. I know that you have this amazing work ethic and you always give your fans what they want, but I'm always like, I wonder what it's like when he's not working. Like, that's so personal.
Yeah.
You just want a little peek.
Yeah, really. I mean, because my kids are grown, it's just me and my wife and the dogs. And so, it's really just me and her. It's just her and I should say. And she's a gardener, so she's
love that.
Yeah, she's raising or planting, harvesting cucumbers, lettuce, pomegranates, peaches, all that kind of good stuff.
Kudos to her for that.
And she's amazing at it too. She's really good. So I'll be shoveling some what do you call it? Bring me some of that mulch over here, and bring a shovel too. So that's what kind of things that we do, me and my wife. And believe it or not, our family's really, really tight. We get together almost every weekend. There's so many people in the family that have a birthday. And so we're always celebrating birthdays. And if there's no birthday, we just get together for the heck of it.
I love that. That keeps you grounded, right?
It really does. It's a lot of fun hanging out with the family and doing that. A couple of years ago, or it was like a year ago, we took a trip to Hawaii with 5 families. And it was just amazing. Everybody out there.
God.
And we was out there just, roaming the island in a bunch of Jeeps and just having fun, just enjoying life.
Let's talk about the Fool in Love Festival because you're going to be there August 31st. Lionel Richie, Diana Ross, like icons. Al Green, Smokey Robinson. That's going down in Eaglewood. Make sure you guys get your tickets. But what can we expect from your set? I already know, low-key, kind of what I can expect from your set, but people that are watching right now, what can they expect from an MC Magic set?
When I perform, I try to give people the songs that they know me for. A lot of times artists come out and be like, hey, this is my new one right here. And that's cool to do new songs. But I don't think at a live concert is the place for them.
Really?
I honestly think that people, when they go see a live concert, because I've been to see artists that I couldn't wait for my favorite song to come on and they didn't perform it because they were too busy promoting their new stuff. And I was like, yeah, that kind of cheats the fans. So I try never to cheat the fans. Always give them the classics that they love, that they dedicate, that they put on TikTok, that they use for their reels. And so, really it's like it's a day of nostalgia.
It really is. And I love the fact that you do that because I've been to concerts where they'll play the song, but maybe they'll use like a different beat to switch it up. And you're waiting for your song and you're like, is that it? I'm trying to sing it, but I'm not too sure until they sing the hook. Then you're like, oh, that's
my song, I think.
Right. And you're kind of like, why can't you just let it be what it is on the radio?
Yeah.
Because that's what we're listening to every single day.
And from the artist standpoint, we get tired of our stuff being the same, but at the same time, the people love repetition. Familiarity is really important. And so, I just give it to them as close to the record as possible. That's my goal.
You know what's crazy is the last time that I had seen you, well, I saw you at the Old School Cruise, but before then it was the Adelanto. There was this little girl. I don't know if you remember her. I was watching her. She must have been like 7 and she was singing every single word, and the way she was looking at you, I remember watching and she's just hanging on to every single word, and I'm like, wow, it really does come back full circle.
It does, and it's amazing how many young fans we reach, both with moms playing it for their kids and the kids discovering it on TikTok too, because TikTok reaches a lot of young people. Just yesterday, it could have been today or yesterday, I reposted on my TikTok a video of a mom saying, look at my daughter, she's so cute. And her daughter's taking a shower. Well, obviously she didn't show her daughter,
right?
But she had one of my songs on repeat, and she tagged me, so she's in the showers singing, I would give my life for you.
Oh my God.
And I was like, such a beautiful thing that the music keeps giving love.
Well, also too, it speaks to the volumes of the music that you sing and produce, because it's timeless.
Yes,
it really is. Let me ask you this: how important is it for you to represent the Latino community and the Latino culture through your music?
It's always been a priority of mine. Not so much to say, hey guys, come on, we're together,
right,
but for people to know that I'm a particular artist. I was born in Mexico, made in the USA. And that's why I also bring the two flags all the time. Mm-hmm. I was born in Mexico, made in America. And really, I think I am a good example of the American dream. And so I can't forget where my roots are, because I have tios and tias, and my mom solamente habla español. Right. So I have to just keep that as part of my who I am, because that's who I am.
Right. And it makes us proud. You know what I mean? When you walk out with that Mexican flag, we're like, yeah. All the Mexicanos are like, yes.
Yes, it really does. And the way that was born is when I released my album Magic City. I had just gone back to being a solo artist in 2006 after having an amazing 4 albums as Nasty Boy Click NB Riders, and I needed to do something different to really get people's attention. It was intended to be a one-time stage entrance, but it just stayed to be the main entrance. And the first time that I did it was at the Super Show in Arizona, my hometown of Phoenix.
Right.
And it was just so phenomenal. I got emotional. It was amazing. So it stayed with me.
Yeah, you know what? I saw you do it, I want to say almost 15 years ago at the Lowrider Car Show in Vegas. When I was doing radio in Vegas, and you walked out. And I remember that's when I seen you first do it. And it was just so powerful. And the minute you walked out, the whole crowd went crazy.
Yeah.
And I was like, dang, this guy got that much power. This is crazy.
And I've done it so much and been doing it for so long that the people are used to it and they expect it now. But those who see it for the first time, it's a good impact.
Now, I saw that you recently linked up with Roddy Rax. Do you guys have something cooking?
What happened was I was doing podcast after podcast, and I left my personal backpack with Angie at one podcast. She goes, well, I have to head to Long Beach because I have another podcast going on. And I'm like, please take my backpack with you. After I finish my other engagement, I'll meet you there. And she happened to be doing a podcast with Rowdy.
Yes.
And I'm like, no, this is Rowdy.
Yes.
And he was like, oh, you know me, OG? It was dope. It was dope. And then we did talk about doing some music together. I'd love to
I'm a fan.
rock with Rowdy. He's so talented. He's a spark plug.
He really is. I did a behind the scenes with him and Sugar Free.
Yeah.
And what I like about Roddy is that Roddy Rax is pure talent. He's a lyricist.
Yeah, he's cold.
Yeah, he spits. His game is fire.
Yes, indeed.
I love his music. So when I saw that you guys were together, I didn't know if you guys had something cooking, but I'm like, that's gonna fucking work, bro. That's gonna work.
I like Rowdy, and I really like Drex too.
Yes.
Drex is cold as ice, and they did that one record together.
Now, we have a lot of young Latino artists that are coming up, which I love and I embrace. You got Roddy Rax, Mexican OT, Coyote. What advice do you give to these young Latinos? Because, you basically walk so they can run. You know what I'm saying? And you cleared that pathway. So when you talk to them, what advice do you give them? It has to be from somebody like you. It can't come from me. Got to be with somebody that walked that same path.
Yeah. Well, you mentioned OT and Coyote. My second project with Coyote, I did the first one called Pocho with Mario Lopez with Concrete Live, and that's an amazing record.
When I go to Tijuana,
I love it. Have you heard Pocho?
No, I haven't.
Coyote MC Magic Pocho. The record is so fire.
Okay, I'm about to put that in my playlist.
So
you guys
fire.
Do the same.
Yeah, and then so the music video is phenomenal too. Anyway, not to get off track, and I just finished another collaboration with them and Mexican OT, and it's funny you mentioned all of them.
This is crazy. So when you talk and you guys sit there, I mean, you are an OG, and respectfully so, and that's a blessing to be an OG in this industry. what advice? What do you guys talk about? Because you got to take them and try to help out the younger generation to be a better generation, right?
Yes. I mean, I think it's cool to get inspired by other people, whether it's Snoop Dogg, whether it's Rowdy Rax, whether it's that Mexican OT. It's great to get inspired by them, but I think the one mistake that new artists make is they copy too much. Okay. And then when you start copying, then you just sound like a copy. Mm-hmm. You feel what I'm saying? Instead, find a way to be original. Like if you say, who sounds like MC Magic? Give me an answer.
Nobody does.
Right. Who sounds like Snoop?
Nobody does.
And that's because it's an originality thing. And when you're original, when you're one of a kind, you're one of a kind.
It's original sound. That's what it is that you got to create that original sound.
Yeah, I just heard somebody else talking on the internet about, it's crazy how one record gets hot and all of a sudden every record that comes out is like a carbon copy of that record.
Right.
From the beat to the rap style or whatever they're doing.
And sometimes when you're hearing it, I mean, no diss, you just don't know who it is. And you're like, who is this again?
Right.
You're not too sure if it's one artist or the other. You know, so is that the conversations you guys have where you're like, listen, make sure you stay original, you stay authentic?
No, no. Whenever I'm working with that Mexican OT with Coyote, my fear is being able to keep up with these young cats that are so
Magic,
fire.
Stop
yes,
it.
I'm intimidated by them, but I just give it my best,
No, you're not. No, you are MC Magic. Do you know how many people are intimidated by you?
No, not at all.
You're the nicest guy, but even me, when I see you at concerts,
yes,
like I go show you love. I might take a picture, and then if you notice, I buy out real quickly because I always don't want to overstay my welcome.
Oh, you're such a
you're
sweetheart.
MC Magic.
Well, and I appreciate that. That's a lot of love, but I'm not that type of Hollywood, egomaniac,
right?
And I think it's because I've run into a lot of that stuff. I've run into a lot of artists that their ego's bigger than this room, and I'm like, it smells like body odor to me,
Right. You're like, this is not popping at all. So I'm excited about this Fool in Love Festival. Now this is going down Inglewood. This is really crazy because I'm telling you right now, you are on this lineup with so many people like Santana. Are you crazy?
Lionel Richie.
What? Lionel Richie?
Yes.
I just got to say Diana Ross.
Diana Ross.
I mean, this is a
George
caliber.
Clinton.
This is caliber.
Zap.
This is high level artists.
Of course.
But this speaks to who you are. Like, do you sit there and say, this is MC Magic? Like, I'm out here with the big dogs.
And I got to give shout out to my counterparts because Baby Bash and Little Rob are right there with me as well. We'll be at the SoFi Stadium August 31st, foolinlove.com. Get your tickets and quit tripping.
Yeah. Now, when you get together with Bash and with Little Rob, like, what are those conversations like? Because, like, you guys are still doing it in this game.
Yeah, tomorrow we have a sold-out show in Indianapolis, Indiana. So tonight when I finish here, I'm going to catch a flight and we get a red eye to Indiana. And it's such a blessing. Rob, Bash, and me, we're just like brothers. We're like brothers because, we've been touring together for so long, right, and it's so automatic, and everyone's got their own MO, and we respect each other, and it's really all love, Bash, when Bash calls me, he goes, "Pinche Mágico." When I went 2 weeks ago, I was in Houston, pulling up to. I'm gonna say something that I probably shouldn't say it, but it's a good message that he caught it. We were in shooting a music video for my new song called "Dat Bounce." Mm-hmm. That Bounce is coming. Mexican OT and Coyote. So Bash pulls up to the video because he lives in Houston,
right? And
that's where we filmed. And so he said he was looking at some videos online and he caught something. And he called me, he goes, "Pinche Mágico. What's up, Bash?" He goes, "Yo, I don't know if you noticed, but that Mexican OT was wearing a t-shirt that says, 'Sniff cocaine.'" He says, "You got to make sure that shit doesn't make the video." And so I called the director, made sure, and he laughed. He's like, "Yeah, Magic, we wouldn't put that in there." What it was is that people give OT a bunch of t-shirts, and there's a crazy dude in Houston that made a t-shirt that says, "Go vegan, sniff cocaine."
Oh my God.
And so that Mexican OT was wearing it that day, but we're gonna make sure that we're not portraying that message,
right? You know what? It happens. They give me, promo all the time. And one day I wore a shirt, and I actually was a hoodie, and it was really comfortable. And I think it said something like "gangbang" or something. But I just wore it so I could run to the store, and somebody said something. And I was like, "Oh my God!"
Right.
I didn't even look at this. I just threw it on because it was comfortable.
Yeah.
took it
Of
off
course,
right
of
away.
course. You know, and Bash is saying is don't panic, it's organic because he's pro marijuana, but that's it.
That's it.
He says stay off the pills.
Yes.
Give you the chills. You know
Oh
what I'm
my
saying?
goodness. Magic, when people come to you, do they want to, just because of the longevity that you've been, the credibility that's behind you and your music, have you ever thought of, you know what I mean, going into like a docu-series or a documentary? Latinos, I think, would really enjoy it, and a lot of up-and-coming Latinos watching you could probably learn the game from you.
I would love that. I think I have to connect with a production company that has some experience doing that because that's not my expertise. And even though we have tons and tons of footage and interviews and all that kind of stuff, you know, in the vault, it would have to be something that someone else is interested in doing because, you know, I can't sing my own song. It just,
Yeah, I feel
my
you.
ego doesn't work that way, you know?
Yeah, but I just think there's so much we can learn. There's probably so many incidents, situations that people like myself or even up and coming artists, you can always learn from somebody. You can always learn from their situation
Yeah.
and how to kind of move. And I think that you being in the game for, you know, so many years, I think you can pass something down to us. You know
I
what I mean?
appreciate that. I
Yeah.
appreciate that, CC. And I think it's something that we will be working on and considering, you know, once God lines up the stars for us.
What does it make you feel when you see more Latinos coming into this game?
It's so beautiful because I had this vision that Latinos would dominate hip hop, popular music, and right now the world is what's going on. And I had that vision in 1994. That's a long time ago, okay?
Wow.
In 1994, I released a music video called Here It Comes. And the intro to that music video was my 6-year-old son, Marco, my firstborn. He's my oldest. And so Marco, he dressed like his dad. He was like a little magic, and he had my magic hat. And he walked down the street, and then the ice cream man pulls up, ice cream man with a big old gold chain, a gold ice cream cone. T-Wax, shout out T-Wax. So he pulled up, and the ice cream man goes, "Yeah, what can I get you, little magic?" And he says, I want the flavor of the future. He said, "The flavor of the future? I only got strawberry, vanilla, and chocolate. So what you want?" He goes, "Man, you don't know nothing." Saying that Latinos are the flavor of the future, and it came to be.
And how did, like, now you see like Latinos everywhere,
Of
right?
course.
Like just
Of
behind the
course.
scenes, in front of the camera. It's just a good look, and it's something that I love to celebrate as well.
Yeah, even
You know?
in Hollywood, for the last 3 years, the top winners at the Academy Awards have been Latino directors. You know, Benicio del Toro and his team. And they always congratulate each other because they're a team and they're conquering, you know.
You know what?
film.
And I love watching, you know, when we do our own movies and our documentaries, I watch them and I always support. There's one that I've watched on Apple that I think I want to tell you about. When you go home, you can watch it with your wife. It's called The Long Game.
The Long Game.
Yeah, and it's with Jay Hernandez
Uh-huh.
and Jules Work. And that particular movie, it's about Mexicanos in Texas that started golfing and how they were being discriminated against. And how they came and they went against one of the top golf teams,
Okay.
which was all white.
Yes.
I won't tell the story. You gotta watch it.
Yes.
But
Well,
it's so good.
And there's so many stories like that. If you look back, George Lopez did one of the computer kids that won that contest with the underwater submarine thing. I don't remember what it was exactly, but it was based out of Phoenix, Arizona too, where I live at Carl Hayden High School.
Wow.
And George Lopez was like their instructor and had that kind of story. It's beautiful. And you know what? Let me tell you something, Cece. There's an actor that I hardly ever give him his props. His name is Steven Villegas. And Steven, I don't know.
Wasn't he a rapper?
Maybe
okay,
he was.
okay.
Maybe he was, but I know he's an actor, and I'm not a movie guy. I'm not a Netflix guy. I don't know who the characters in Marvel are, so I'm not a movie guy. But he's an actor, and he's up on some films that are big. I think he plays a cop in a couple of
that's
of
dope.
movies. Steven Villegas from Los Angeles. I think he's from the SGV, to be honest with you. And so about 4 years ago, Noel G, he texted me. He said, "Magic, there's a friend of mine, an actor friend of mine, that he has something he wants to share with you." And I'm like, "What is it? What is it?" And so I reached out to Steven. We connected, and he sent me a complete music video of my song "Lost in Love." So he said, "I looked all over the internet, and I didn't see that you had a music video for your song "Lost in Love." So I took it upon myself to make you one. and he acts in the music video. He said the song was so special to me growing up, and I wanted to put this out there for you. So 5 million views later, here we are.
Damn! Shout out to Steven. You a real one for that.
That's dope, right?
I love it. Yes, but that just speaks volumes how people love you, admire you, and respect you.
Amen.
You know what I mean? Still to this day. Man, thank you so much. MC Magic, listen, I love you. Everybody here, they want to take pictures afterwards.
Absolutely.
I'm telling you, the girls are waiting on their lunch break just so that they can take photos
That's amazing.
with you.
God bless everybody at K-Day and the whole staff here. God bless you guys. Thank you, CZ, for always keeping it 100, baby. I love you.
Listen, I love you and I admire you. And it's so funny because, you're my family. And I was telling the girls, I'm like, this is family right here. I see them at all the concerts. We're always showing love to each other. And I love bringing you out. Sometimes when I look at the roster, I'm like, oh no, I got to bring out MC Magic.
What a sweetheart. Thank you.
I do. So thank you so much. And I'm telling you, you got to come back and take over the radio.
Let's do it.
Seriously.
Let's do it.
When you have time and you're here in LA, come back. We can schedule it. But I want to go ahead and just walk away and just give you the mic. And K-Day's yours for the day. I think you can do it, Magic. Let's go.
I don't know about, I used to have a morning show in Phoenix.
Exactly. Yes. That's what I'm saying. You might take my job, but you know what I'm saying? I'll take that risk. What is K-Day?